भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Chapter 13. Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. अतः त्रयोदशो अध्यायः. Verse 13.1 and 2. Arjuna uvacha prakriti purusham cheva kshetram kshetranam evacha etad veditam ichchami jnanam geyam cha keshava. Shri Bhagwan uvacha idam shariram kunteya kshetram iti abhidhyate etad yo veti tam prahu kshetrana iti tad vidaha.
Arjuna said, "O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and the object of knowledge." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field."
13.3 क्षेत्राणां चपीमं विधि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञोर्ज्ञानं यत्तज्ज्ञानं मतं मम.
O scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That is my opinion.
Matli, could you please scroll up, please? Hare Krishna. 13.4 तत्क्षेत्रं यच्च यद्रक्ष यद्विकारी यताश्च यत् सा च यो यत्प्रभावाश्च तत्समासेन मे शृणु.
Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are.
13.5 ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतां छन्दोभिर्विविधे पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदेश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितः.
That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is specially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect.
13.6 and 7 महाभूतानि अहंकारो बुद्धिरव्यक्तम् एव च इन्द्रियाणि दशेकं च पञ्चचेन्द्रियगोचरः इच द्वेष सुखं दुःखं सङ्घातश्चेतना धृतः एत एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन साविकारम् उदाहृतम्.
The five great elements false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the five sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activity and its interactions.
Mataji, could you please scroll? 13.8 to 12 अमानितम अदम्भितवम अहिंसा क्षंतिरम अर्जवम आचार्योपासनाम शोचम स्थिर्याम आत्मा विनिग्रह इंद्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम अनाहकारा एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुख दोषानुदर्शनम असकृत अनाभिविष्टांगा पुत्रधारा ग्रहदिषु नित्यां च समाचितत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपातिषु मयि चानन्या योगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी विविक्तदेश सवित्वम् अरतिर्जना संसदि अध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् इति जनानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यद् अतोऽन्यथा.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindlessness, amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and beside this, whatever there may be, is ignorance.
13.13 ज्ञेयं यत् तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञानत्वमृतम् अश्नुते अनादिमत् परं ब्रह्म न सत् तन्न सत् उच्यते.
I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of all this material world.
13.14 सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतो शिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वम् अवृत्या तिष्ठति.
Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the supersoul exists, pervading everything.
13.15 सर्वेन्द्रिया गुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रिया विवर्जितम् असाक्तं सर्वभृच्चैव निरुगुणं गुणभोक्तृ च.
The supersoul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the mode of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes of material nature.
13.16 बहिरन्ताश्च भूतानाम् आचरं च चरम् एव च सुखं तत्त्वत् तद् अविज्ञेयं दूरस्थं चन्तिके च तत्.
The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and the non moving. Because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all.
13.17 अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तम् एव च स्थितं भूतभारत च तज्ज्ञेयं ग्रासिष्णु प्रभा विष्णु च.
Although the supersoul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of all living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all.
13.18 ज्योतिषाम् अपि तज्ज्योतिस्तमसः परम् उच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानागम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विष्ठितम्.
He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart.
13.19 इति क्षेत्रं तथा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं चोक्तं समासतः मद्भक्ता एतद्विज्ञा मद्भावा यो पपाद्यते.
Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Shabani Mataji, Girish Prabhu. Very, very nicely recited. Girish Prabhu, your Sanskrit is very, very good. Excellent. I'm very happy that a lot of devotees on this group are getting expert at Sanskrit, which is very, very nice.
Hare Krishna,
Um,
Prabhuji. All blessing of yours and the other devotees.
Wonderful. And Shabari Mataji, the full English was very nice and very fluent, very easy to follow. Thank you so much, both
Thank you
of
so
you.
much, Prabhuji. All your blessings.
Thank you. So today we have a very special session. We have invited um, a very, very special person to do the class today. It worked out very good for me because today I've been quite far behind on my work with Bhakti Vaibhav. So Divya Gaurangi Mataji was invited to do the class, and that really helped me because I was able to get some work done on my other side. So first of all, thank you, Divya Gaurangi Mataji, for agreeing to do the class. So I think everybody knows Divya Gaurangi Mataji and the group. She is an expert reciter of the verses, as we all know. She also runs the special sessions with some of the devotees on the group to go over the Sanskrit pronunciations and everything. So everybody knows that. But perhaps you just know her as a member of the group. So I can just give you some brief background of her. So she's been coming to the temple, to the manor, since 1998. Excuse me. She took initiation from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj in 2017. She's done the Bhakti Shastri course with the School of Bhakti, so obviously that's why her knowledge, you can see whenever she makes comments or questions, is very well informed. She's a Bhakti Shastri graduate. She's serving, before the lockdown, she was serving at the Krishna Club, teaching the children at the manor on Sundays. She also does the deity garland service and Boga transfer service as well. And also during the festivals, she helps the festival donations team. Apart from all that, at the manor, she also does service at the Krishna Avati school, to dress Krishna Balram. So yeah, very, very accomplished devotee doing wonderful devotional service. So I'll not take any more time. Divya Gaurangi Mataji, once again, thank you, and over to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I seek your blessings. Really, I beg for your blessings today because I am nervous. I have taken up the service, but then I realized that verse 13 is very technical. The entire chapter is a difficult one, but here I am. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I beg for your blessings today so I could say the right words and the right words will come out at the right time in the right mood. That is very important. So I really need your blessings for that. And I feel insignificant. There are so many senior devotees here. Really, I'm unqualified, but with your blessings, I would try to say something as a means of service, primarily for my own purification, with your blessings. Please forgive my mistakes and bless me. I just want to serve. Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप गदामह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः प्रभु Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Radhanath Swamini Tinamine. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tinamine. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulanghaite girim yatkripātam vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramanandamadhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. I will share the PowerPoint. Please let me know, dear devotees, if you can see the screen.
Yes,
Yes.
Mataji.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. So we are discussing chapter 13 and we have been very, very fortunate. Here we are. Every single evening we gather together and we hear from our Shiksha Gurus. His Grace Vrindan Chandra Prabhuji, His Grace Mukunda Hari Prabhuji, His Grace Divyanam Prabhuji, Her Grace Madhukumari Mataji, and all the guest speakers. I seek their blessings. It has been wonderful journey and we have been learning a lot. So that is the first slide of the PowerPoint. The second slide is, we all know by now, we've seen this familiar screen. Arjuna is asking in the Kshetra Kshetragna Yoga, Nama, Nature, Enjoyer and Consciousness, chapter 13. Arjuna is asking 6 questions to Krishna. And all the various answers are given by Krishna one by one. And we've all learned this. The presentation is pretty long. So I will be sharing these slides and you can look at all these at your own time. The Prakriti is material nature, Purusha, the enjoyer of matter, Kshetra is the field, this body. There are 2 Kshetragnas, that is the spirit soul, Jivatma, and the super soul. So that's what, and then the Gnayam is the object of knowledge. Gnana is the knowledge and the process of acquiring knowledge. So today we are going to discuss in verse 13. Basically, it's about Gnayam, the 6th question of Arjuna, which Krishna is going to answer. The object of knowledge, what is that? That's what we will try to understand. And it correlates with this 4th point, Kshetragya, because we will be discussing both the Kshetragyas, the object of knowledge, and where it leads us. What is the Prayojana? So it's a wonderful verse actually, because there is a lot to learn. So I will read the verse and then 2 devotees can recite the purport. So the next slide, there are 2 paragraphs in this purport, very short purport. So the verse 13 is Gneyam yattat pravakshyami yajgnatvam anadimat param brahma nasattanna saduchyate. So Krishna is saying, I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal, Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. The next is the purport. Anyone who would like to recite, please unmute and read the first paragraph, and then someone can read the second, please.
Hare Krishna, I can read the first one.
Sure, Mataji, go ahead.
The Lord has explained the field of activities and the knower of the field. He has also explained the process of knowing the knower of the field of activities. Now he begins to explain the knowable, first the soul and then the super soul. By knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the super soul, one can the nectar of life. The living entity is eternal. This is also confirmed here. There is Atma's manifestation from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is beginningless. The Vedic literature confirms this. Na jayate mriyate va vipashit. Katha Upanishad 1.2.18. The knower of the body is never born and never dies, and he is full of knowledge.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Can I
Krishna.
read the second verse, please, Mataji? Thank
Yes,
you.
Mataji.
The
Yes.
Supreme Lord as the Super Soul is also stated in the Vedic literature, Sveteshvatara Upanishad 6.16 to be Pradhana Kshetragna Pati Gunesha, the chief knower of the body and the master of the three modes of material nature. In the Smriti, it is said, Dasha Bhuto Harer Eva Nanyaseva Kadachana. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his teachings. Therefore, the description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul, and when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is Vijnana Brahma as opposed to Ananda Brahma. Ananda Brahma is the Supreme Brahman, personality of Godhead. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Rasalila Srimati Mataji and Kusuma Mataji. Okay, and here is the slide for the section. So this is the section 3. Last section was 8 to 12 verses where we learned the 20 qualities, the knowledge. Those qualities explain the qualities of a devotee, how one can develop those qualities and how one should live. Now, the second section is 13 to 19, where Krishna explains the object of knowledge, which is Gneya. This is Arjuna's sixth question. And so, Gneya is the knowable. What is this knowable? That's what we will try to learn today. Now, here, the first verse, I would like, because there is a lot to go through, we can always read this slide at our own time. The first thing is knowing the knowable. Now, Gneya is the absolute truth, the knowable. How to know the absolute truth? So, there are three primary ways, first of all, outwards, inwards, and upwards. So, outwards is in the material nature, pratyaksha praman, our own observation. Now, that is limited because our senses are limited. The second way is inwards, the psychology, the anuman, our own, what our mind, it's inward, so it deals with the mind, what the mind is thinking and feeling. But the emotions of the mind is not me, myself. So what happens is that that guidance might not be the right guidance. It is guesswork. Hence, it is called Anuman. So nobody really learns everything by Pratyaksha and Anuman, outwards and inwards. Hence, it's not complete knowledge. So to try to understand the Gneya, the absolute truth, we must look upwards. Why? Because it is spiritually based on revelation. Shabda Praman, the way to descending revelation. It enables not only direct knowledge coming from Krishna, but also helps us to make sense of what we are observing externally and internally. Hence, we can read books of Srila Prabhupada to understand this very important knowledge. And in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada says that there are two processes of knowledge, ascending and descending. Ascending means we are trying to go high by our own strength, and descending means the pure knowledge which comes from up. You receive it, it comes from up. Just like Arjun was taught by Krishna, and that philosophy is going on, and those who are accepting the principle of Arjuna, they are real student of Bhagavad Gita. Receive knowledge and try to assimilate it and try to apply it with your body, mind, and intelligence. Then you will understand God so nicely that although God is unconquerable, you will conquer him by this simple process. So, in the devotional service, first step is hearing submissively from the authoritative source. So here Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely and in a very simple manner why we should be reading the books and of Srila Prabhupada, because that's where we will get the real knowledge, the knowledge to know and understand the absolute truth. Who is that absolute truth? Krishna, the second Kshetragna in the body. Now, the first paragraph of this verse primarily talks about the soul, Jivatma. The second verse talks about the super soul, Supreme Lord, and our connection. So let's go with the first paragraph. There are three features of soul explained in the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Soul is eternal, beginningless, and we cannot trace specific date when Jivatma was born. Now, the praman of this is in verse 2.20 of Bhagavad Gita, which we've already learned in chapter 2, that for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Hence, soul is eternal, beginningless, and we can't. There is no date in history because the universe is going on. The material world is getting created, and it is going on for some time, annihilated, and then the creation takes place again, which we can look at when I come to that slide again. We'll come to that point again. And here again, there is another beautiful point that the knower of body has no birth or death. He is full of knowledge. Now, here, the Brahman, the spirit soul, Brahman is referred to as the spirit soul, the Jivatma in this verse. And it is talking about this soul, which is in its spiritual state, it is full of knowledge. So, the intelligent Atman is not born, nor does he die. Again, all of this is spoken in Katha Upanishad verse 1.2.18. And here, so I wanted to elaborate a little bit that how to explain this, that everything is going on, soul is eternal, there is no date. So we have learned in previous chapters and also in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is in a detail, it is explained the creation process. So the original Purusha is Krishna, and from him comes the Mahavishnu, the portion of him, from whom there is a Karana Dakshai Vishnu. Here is we can see here the universe chart. Karana Dakshai Vishnu is lying in the Karana ocean. All of that is in the spiritual world, and thereafter the material world begins by Krishna entering in each universe with his breathing process. He will create innumerable universes, and he is so merciful, he enters each universe as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. From his navel comes Brahma, and then all the different planetary systems take place. Basically, the Pradhan is there, right? So all the 5 gross elements, 5 sense objects, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, we've learned all of this, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, there is a Pradhana. And the 3 subtle elements, false ego, mind, intelligence, all of this is like an ingredient put into it just for our enjoyment, because the soul desired to be away from spiritual world to have their own enjoyment. So we are here. And then what happens? Krishna is very merciful. He does not let us go there alone. Even within our heart, he is there as Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. He is with us, guiding us all the time. Like there are the 2 birds, Atma and Paramatma. So if we turn to the second bird, he is very happy and ready to guide us. So this is how we can understand that we are just beyond, we are in this material world, and hence our actual position is spiritual, which is full of knowledge, but we have ended up here. But the soul, due to its spiritual state, always remains eternal, always remains beginningless, and it is always subordinate to Krishna. Because the body dies, the soul does not die. Hence, soul is part and parcel of Krishna. We are subordinate to him. We are the knower, the soul, under the influence of super soul, who is the knower of this body and our role model. One who has learned this gnayam, the knowledge, that who the soul is, who the super soul is, the soul and the living entity of the Supreme Lord, is in a position to serve him, to perform pure devotional service. We have learned earlier the 9 processes of bhakti: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Mananam, Vishnu Sharan, all the 9 processes. The one who knows this knowledge and lives accordingly, he can relish the nectar of life. He can transcend the modes by process of pure devotional service. Now that is yat gnatvam ashnute in this verse. Now, to think about it, if the spirit soul is spiritual, then how it is in so conditioned to this body? How comes our consciousness is so conditioned that we only know about our body? We don't know what is happening in the next room. But actual position of this soul as a spirit soul has got such tremendous capacity that sitting in one location, the Gnani and Yogi can know what is happening in the Jupiter planet. Why? And why we are bound? What has happened to us? We had that capacity. We were in the spiritual world, but what has happened that our Kshetra, the body, has become our condition? That's what is our freedom of our consciousness. Why? Because we are bound by the 3 modes. Now, here it is very important to know that the 3 modes of material nature, it is also mentioned. Now we are moving on to the second paragraph of the purport, that we are bound by the shackles of Maya. The soul, spirit soul, is pure and eternal, but it is covered by all the layers that became the ingredients to form the universe. So even it is there in Srimad Bhagavatam that when the universe was formed and the material planets and Brahma had to create, he had to put in all the ingredients with the instructions of Krishna, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. But when he had to put in the 3 modes, which are the goodness, passion, and ignorance, all these 3 modes are very binding. Brahma knew, and then he had to put in the time factor. And he knew when I put in these modes, the all the souls Jivatma are going to become forgetful of their identity. And he actually felt such compassion for all the jivas that he cried. So this is our position. We are here. We have forgotten the actual position as per this slide here. What is here is the spiritual world. Now we are here. We have degraded. Our consciousness has degraded. But we are actually very fortunate to be in this process. We have Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching us, Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Nityera Krishna Das. Only Krishna is the Supreme Lord, all others are his servants. So this process given by the Acharyas and Srila Prabhupada is a perfect process. If we take shelter of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, we worship our spiritual master, he worships the Lord. It's a perfect process. Through this process, we can understand the actual knowable, the Gnayam, the absolute truth, Krishna. And what are we going to do after we know this? So what happens is there is, most of you know, all the devotees, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. So I would like to give an analogy of, for example, going to a university. A student joins a university. So he has made a relationship with that university. He is now the student of this university. So the relationship is made. What is he going to do there? He is going to study. He is going to make notes. He is going to attend the classes. And by doing all of this, what is he going to gain? What is his goal? The goal, the prayojan is graduation, getting the degree. So in the same way, us, the Jivatma of the material world, We are the student. Our university is Lord Krishna, the role model. He is the one. We are going to build relationship with him, and we are going to learn like a student all the knowledge that is coming from Bhagavad Gita. All he is the compiler of all the Vedic scriptures. So if we read all this, and we are so lucky, we are so conditioned in a way that we cannot understand these books, but even with the help of Srila Prabhupada, even that is possible from his purports, we can understand. So then we are building this relationship. The process is chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, all of this is there, all the 9 processes. And what is the goal? Goal is Krishna Prem. We don't want to get liberation. We don't want to become one with Lord Vishnu. We don't want the Sarupya and all those mukti. We don't want to go to Vaikuntha. We just want Krishna Prem. Our goal is to serve Krishna and to please Krishna, and that pleases us. So that is the goal wherever we are. Yes, immortality, liberation, yes. But more important thing is serving Krishna, and that's our position. We are just happy wherever we are, in whichever universe, whichever planet we end up, we want to serve Krishna. That is our prayojan. So, like in a university graduation for the student, for us, it is Krishna Prema. So that will be our degree, our qualification. Now, we were talking about the modes. Pradhana Kshetra Patir Gunesha, that is Krishna. And he is the super soul, he is the knowable, he is the chief knower of the body, master of the 3 modes of material nature. Here are the 3 modes. We see how the strings are being pulled one by another, and the entire material world is running on this. The strings are being pulled on us. Sometimes during the whole day we are in different modes. We are not always in goodness mode. That's why our acharyas and Prabhupada and our spiritual master teaches us to wake up very early in the Brahma Muhurta and chant. That is 1.5 hours before the sunrise. So we are in the mode of goodness at that time. As the day progresses, our modes degrade as well. So these are the modes. Now, the Jivatma and Super Soul, they are different. We need to understand the distinction that we are governed by these modes, but Krishna is not affected by these modes at all. He is actually the controller. Remember the Maya Devi of the material world? Durga Devi, she is holding the Trishul with the 3 spokes, Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, all these miseries. So we are bound by all of this. This is our position. That's why we have ended up here. But there is always hope. We will come to that. And here is our Krishna. He is the super soul, the master of us all, of our senses, everything. This is a very beautiful chart here. So we can always, there's so much to learn from this image itself. So, but by the pure process of pure devotional service, what happens? We can transcend these modes. So that is the Gneyam. That is the Gneyam which will be the Amrutam Ashnute. That's what is the real nectar. So that's what this verse is, a beautiful verse. When it was given to me, I was worried about the technical aspect. But when I read Srila Prabhupada's purport with his mercy, I could understand that there is a lot to learn actually in this verse. And it is a very important verse. It talks about what is our goal of life, what is the real knowledge. The Gneyam is the super soul and our relationship with him, and how to get there. It's by pure devotional service. Now, sometimes we would say, to be practical, that, oh, pure devotional service is so high up. But no, we will continue. We will do our devotional service. And we will pray to Krishna, Lord Krishna, my dear Krishna, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, please help me, please bless me, so I can one day, there is no harm in desiring. We can always say, I desire to do pure devotional service. One day, I will just do my service, my sadhana to please Krishna. That will be my goal. And we can always desire and we can continue. So, The time is running out, but there is a lot to say. I had prepared a lot, yeah. So Srila Prabhupada also, I was reading, hearing his lecture, October 6, 1973, Bombay, on this verse 13. And so he explains all the creation process, and then he says that Krishna enters as Shirodaksha Vishnu and enters in each atom. He's very merciful. He's with us. He's in our heart. He's smaller than the smallest. He's bigger than the biggest. He's lighter than the lightest. He's heavier than the heaviest. That's our Krishna. So the real knowledge is Gneyam, Lord Vishnu. He is to be understood, Krishna. So, Gneyam Yatat Pravakshyami. Simply material knowledge is not perfection of knowledge. And even in verse 15 of chapter 15, our favorite verse of most of us was Sarvasvachaham Radhi Sannivishto, Smritir Gnanam Apohanam Cha, Vedeshcha Sarver Ahameva Vedyo, Vedant Kritved Videha Vachaham. One has to understand Krishna by studying the Vedic scripture. If he is missing to know Krishna, then whatever occupational duty we are doing, it is shrama eva hi kevalam. My dear devotees, it is a waste of time. It is only labor. So human life is meant for increasing our interest in Krishna Katha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. By knowing this knowledge, one becomes immortal. How? By coming out of the cycle of birth and death. By pure devotional service, he can transcend the modes. And then, Amrutam Ashnute. That's what is said in this verse, that is the pure nectar. That is the real knowledge. To know the tattva, the absolute truth. So, yeah, there is a lot here. The 4.9 verse in Bhagavad Gita says, Janma karma chame divyam, evam yo vetti tattvataha. If I take material body, I have to die. But here Krishna says, Punar Janma Naiti, no more birth. This is Amruta. And then there is also supreme knowledge is if you simply try to understand Krishna, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, Aham Sar. Oh yes, and then why does Krishna appear actually? He takes so many incarnations, and 5,000 years ago plus, he took birth in Vrindavan. Why? For our benefit. He comes to Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge 4.8 to re-establish principle of religion, dharma, and human life means religion. As opposed to the animal life, they have very little freedom. They don't have any knowledge or reasoning power, but we have. So we need to make the most of this human birth. And dharma means the codes given by the God. And Krishna he's very anxious to see us back actually. And he wants to see us happy. He's our father. So devotee is never disturbed by so-called pains and pleasure of this world. He knows his duty and how to execute the Krishna consciousness. Sarva dharman parityaja mameka sharanam braja. So real dharma is to surrender to Krishna. I am eternally your servant, my Lord. I forgot you. Now I have come to my senses and I surrender unto you. This will be our prayer. Bahunam janmanamante Gnanavan mam prapadyate 7.19. After struggling for many lives, one becomes wise. Okay, so if one understands this, he can get eternal life and he can come out of this material world and we can transcend the modes. So that is the knowledge. I'm speaking mainly from the second paragraph of this verse, because here Srila Prabhupada clearly says that in Smriti it is said, Das Bhuto Harer Eva Nanyashvaiva Kadachana. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings are also saying that we are the eternal servant of the Lord. So I wanted to elaborate on that. That's why I have been speaking a lot on the second paragraph. And some notes I had just made, literally just recently before starting the class, because I was thinking of some examples of these pure devotional services. We know Amrish Maharaj, he used to use all the senses of his body to worship Lord Krishna. And the gopis of Vrindavan. And the gopis of Vrindavan, there goes the story once, when everyone knows probably that once Krishna had a headache, and then so the Vaidya, he says this headache can be relieved only if we apply the dust of the pure devotees of the Lord. And so here Narad Muni goes and he is visiting all the different big rishis and gyanis and yogis and devotees, but they are all very afraid. They are saying, how can we gain dust of our feet, because if we do this, what goes on our feet? We will go to hell. No, 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 we cannot take this risk. Finally, Narad Muni comes to gopis and he explains what has happened. And they start collecting so much dust and give it to Narad Muni. Please take this to Krishna. And Narad Muni is saying, but do you know what you are doing? You will go to hell. They said, even to relieve a fraction of the pain of Krishna, we are prepared to go to hell life after life. What to talk about this life? So these are the gopis. These are the gopis of Vrindavan, their pure bhava. Krishna wants our love. He is Lakshmipati. He has everything. What does he want from us? He wants our love. He wants our devotion. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Anything we offer, the main ingredient is it's offered with love. My dear Krishna, I want to please you. That is my goal. Not any material profit, not doing any deals with him. That's what he likes. And then he gives abundant in return, even if we don't want. It is that the fruit vendor pastime. Also, we know that how she goes and then the fruits Krishna is taking, and then he's giving some grains in return. It's all falling from his hand. And when she moves away, she sees her basket is full of jewel. And then there is Prahlad Maharaj. Look at the surrender, the determination and the faith in Krishna. His own father is putting him through so much atrocities, but all he is doing is chanting the names of the Lord. So anyway, there are many pastimes like this here. But at the same time, like I wanted to mention just one point here, because all of this is very good, but there are some obstacles in the path of pure devotional service, and the biggest obstacle is Vaishnava Aparadh. And I'm speaking this for me here, for my purification, as a reminder to me that it's very, very important that we don't commit aparadh to Vaishnavas, because the devotees are very dear to the Lord. I had heard in one class that if we are walking on a hot sand on a desert, there is a heat on the head, right? So it is very hot. And then there is a heat on the feet. And then that is also very hot if you're walking bare feet. So the heat on the head we can bear, but the feet will be jumping up and it is so boiling, so hot. It is very difficult to bear it on the feet. Like similarly, what I'm trying to say, the analogy is the aparadh, the offenses we make directly to Lord Krishna is like offenses to his head, the heat on the head. He can bear it. He will forgive us. But the offenses on the feet, the heat on the feet is not bearable. That's where the pure devotees, the Vaishnavas of the Lord lay. That is their position at the lotus feet of the Lord. So we want to be very careful, like Durvasa Muni, such an exalted personality. He is making this aparadh and the Sudarshan Chakra goes after him, and then because it's protecting Amrish Maharaj, we all know this story, what happens there. And then Lord says, I can't forgive, I cannot give any forgiveness because it's not in my power. You have offended my devotee. So he has to go to Amrish Maharaj after going through so many planetary systems over. He's running. And obviously devotees of the Lord are very merciful. They forgive and he was fine. And the heat on the head, other example I was thinking of is Bhrigu Muni. He's trying to check who is the actual supreme personality, and he goes and kicks the chest of Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu says, "Oh, I'm really sorry. It must have hurt your legs or your feet because my chest is so hard." So this is our Lord, our all merciful Krishna, Lord Vishnu. He is feeling compassion for Bhrigu Muni, and he has actually kicked the Lord. So here we can see. So through seva, I wanted to say that serving in humble, prayerful mood pleases Krishna. Vaishnava seva is the pillar in Bhakti Yoga. Krishna is pleased when his devotees are cared for. So we should seek opportunities to serve the devotees. Through seva, we can receive benedictions and blessings. And time is running out. There was one story of the boss and assistant. Should I say or let it go?
Go ahead, Mataji, go ahead.
Sorry, is everybody there? I can't see anyone. Okay, so I don't even know who's here. So okay, so the story of the boss was that there is this assistant, and he has to go to the party at this boss house, like a Diwali party, and he has to take some gift because this relationship with the boss is very important for his own, progress in life and material benefits. So they are discussing at home, and he's asking his wife, "What should we do?" And she's saying, the wife was clever. She said, "Does the boss have any children?" And he's saying, "Yes, as far as I know, yes." And they were discussing their age and everything. And then the wife said, "Then let's go shopping and get really nice gifts for the children." So the husband was confused. He said, "But I want to please the boss." So she said, "That's the whole point. If you please his children, the boss will be very, very happy with you. Instead of giving him anything, let's get something for the children." So same is the analogy with Krishna, that, if we are going to serve his devotees, as Vaishnav Seva is pillar in Bhakti Yoga, he is going to be very, very happy with us. So let's do that, my dear devotees, whenever we get a chance. And few reflections from the verse. I had just jotted down some points from my head, that we should try to do detachment from matter. This is connected to the verse, so I've written it down because Srila Prabhupada mentions the three modes, why we are bound. So detachment from this matter and attachment to Krishna, knowledge plus pure devotion. Devotee's mission is to please Krishna and be a servant of the Lord. So you see, there is this beautiful pastime we heard at the weekend in the class, that Mother Yashoda is running after Krishna with the stick in her hand. There is this image in Google. And then so this stick is also called Vetra in Sanskrit. So this Vetra is the other meaning is knowledge. So just by this knowledge, we cannot catch Krishna. We can be Jnani, we cannot catch him. But what we need with it is bhakti, the pure love, the pure devotion. When we will have that, then with the mercy of the Lord, we can catch him, because he will be happy to see our love for him. That's all he wants. Serving in the mood of humility and not pride, knowing that Krishna is the controller of us all, and soul is subordinate to Krishna. We saw in the previous slides the universe. Just by the breathing process, all these multiple unlimited universes are coming out. So obviously we are subordinate to Krishna. Krishna only is accessible by bhakti. There is a verse in 10.9.21, pure devotional service, and we are where we are mentally. Hence, if we are sitting here discussing this Hari Katha, or we are discussing Vrindavan pastimes, we are in Vrindavan. We are not here. So it is all about the internal, all about our consciousness. That's why this process is called Krishna consciousness. Our destination is Tatha Prema Bhakti Swakam Me Prayacha. Our beautiful famous Damodar Ashtakam we are reciting. What it is saying? Tatha Prema Bhakti Swakam Me Prayacha. Prem Bhakti for Radha and Krishna. That is our prayojan, our goal of life. And that will take us out of these shackles of the three modes. We will come out of this So there is this verse. I'm going to. It's already 8:40. I'll let it go. The last verse is very beautiful. 10.10.38. It is the Nalakovera and Manigriva, the true Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. We all know this Damodar Ashtakam, where these two trees actually they are the sons of Kuvera, and they were so puffed up that once they were bathing in Ganga, with the damsels and the beautiful women, and they were actually not wearing clothes and everything. So when Narad Muni is passing by, he's looking at them, and they are looking at Narad Muni without. They were so puffed up that they did not even bother to cover up. The damsels did, but they did not. So Narad Muni said, "This is such a big disrespect. Hence, I am cursing you to become the trees and go and live in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. But one day Krishna will come and he will break the trees and then you will be liberated." So this is the shloka 38 is that's what it is. What's happened here is that they have been liberated and they are saying this prayer. I have not read this verse or practiced, but I would like to read it because I like to finish on a very happy and hopeful note. It's been a very heavy class, this verse 13. It's very heavy for me. So Vani Gunanu Kathane Shravanau Kathayam Hastau Chakarma Sumanastava Padayorna Smrityam Shirastava Nivasa Jagat Praname Drashti Satam Darshanestu Bhavatanunam. Translation. These are the prayers of Manigriva and Nalkuvera. What are they saying to Krishna after appearing from the trees? They are the two effulgent sons of Kuvera. Henceforward, may all our words describe your pastimes. May our ears engage in oral reception of your glories. May our hands, legs, and other senses engage in actions pleasing to you. And may our minds always think of your lotus feet. May our heads offer our obeisances to everything within this world, because all things are also your different forms. And may our eyes see the forms of Vaishnavas who are non-different from you. Such a beautiful prayer we can recite every day. This beautiful Damodar Ashtakam we can recite every day, not just in the Kartik month. So I would like to end here, dear devotees. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I've taken up a lot of time. Please give your comments, reflections, any criticisms, corrections. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, dear Divya Gaurangi.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, well done. I'm so happy to see you done the class because we taught Krishna club together, and it reminded me when you showed the Mahavishnu, when the creation. I remember you and me teaching the same thing, and you from there you explained so nicely. I'm so happy to see you here. I really would appreciate if you do more classes. It's really elaborated classes. I'm so glad to see you there.
Mataji, my obeisances to your lotus feet. That's all I would say, because you have been there as a mother to me, always there to guide me. And I'm becoming a bit emotional, but I'm very fortunate to be in this congregation, and everyone always gives me so much love, which I don't deserve. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Divya. Well done. May Krishna bless you.
Thank you, Mataji. I was very nervous though. Thank you.
You've done well. You've done well. I'm so happy. So happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. That was so beautiful, enlightening class.
It's just all from Srila Prabhupada's purports, Mataji. I'm just repeating, and all our Shiksha Guru of chat classes, I'm just repeating what I'm hearing from them all this time. That's all.
I could hear Krishna talking through you. It was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you for your blessings, Mataji. Just bless me that I can just serve more and more devotees.
Yeah.
And please, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
You said the Brahma Muhurat time is 1.5 hours before sunrise. But sunrise varies almost on a daily basis. So at the moment, the sunrise, I think, is about 7:30, something like that. So does it mean 1.5 hours is about 6 a.m.? Is that right for the Brahma Muhurat hour?
Right. Okay, Mataji. Wow, that's a very, very nice question. And I would like to pass this to Mukunda Hari Prabhuji, Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji, if you are here. I would say yes, but I would like to hear from them.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, are you there?
Good Hari Prabhu, please share your wisdom.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So first of all, Divya Gaurangi Mataji was just absolutely amazing. Such an amazing class. You brought us so many wonderful points and so nicely delivered. I really was riveted to the class. Thank you so much.
I'm
So
following in your
definitely,
footsteps, Prabhuji. All your blessings. I know you have all been blessing me, and that's what is happening. I don't even know myself what I was speaking. It's all yours, all you and Prabhuji's blessings. Thank you so much.
wonderfully delivered. I wish I could deliver it as half nicely as you can. So that's very nice. So yeah, Pamela Mataji's question, Brahma Muhurta. So yes, officially yes, the description for Brahma Muhurta is 1.5 hours before sunrise. And yes, you could take it as per your time, like daily time, when the time changes, like summer and winter time changes. So you can adjust it like that, 1.5 hours. But generally speaking, what devotees do in ISKCON is we basically time our waking up and chanting and everything to the Mangala Aarti times. So people would wake up and you'd be up and ready by 4:30. You would follow the program either at the temple or online. And then at 5:15, 5:25, with the devotees, you'll start chanting. So that basically is Brahma Muhurta. I hope that makes sense, Mataji. But like I say, both are valid. If you follow just a 1.5 hour, for example, right now, because the sun rises 7:30 and you wake up at 6 o'clock, that's also considered Brahma Muhurta.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu, could you please add or correct me if there's something I've said?
Your answer was perfect. I can't add anything more to what you said.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please give any comments and corrections and any reflections on this verse. We would like to hear from the devotees here if they would like to add anything. It's always nice to keep it interactive. Sorry, I've taken too much time and I was just blabbering away. Forgive me for that.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, beautiful class, and you're so humble and you're so knowledgeable. It was so good to hear you. Really, it was really nice. Give us more classes like this.
Thank you so much, Mataji. See, if you wish so, and if you think I'm qualified, and our Shiksha Gurus of chat classes, if they permit, I would definitely like to serve again. Thank you so much. It has really helped me to purify myself. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, my dear God sister. Is Bhagwati here? I'm really pleased that you're doing something good, and Maharaj will be very pleased.
Mataji, thank you so much. My Danvat Pranam at your lotus feet. Thank you so much. You are a very senior devotee, Mataji. Thank you for your blessings.
Yes, but you've done wonderful, very enlightened class. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Satyam Prabhuji.
Mataji, it is not what we say, it is not even how we say, but it is the person who says. So obeisances to the person that you are, Mataji. Because of that, this became so special.
Prabhuji, you are all giving me so much encouragement, and I've got so much encouragement from all the Vrindavan Chandra Prabhuji, Mukundari Prabhuji, Prabhuji, they've been encouraging me for weeks and saying, Mataji, you can do this. And so this is the result of that. They said, just try. So I tried. So it is their blessings completely, Prabhuji. I am insignificant.
50%
Thank you.
Hari bol.
Hari bol. So if there is any other questions or reflections, otherwise it's 8:50. So I will hand it over to Vrindan Chandra Prabhuji now. I don't know what do we do next. Do we end the meeting? There are a lot of messages here I have not read, but I am really, really grateful. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
boundary to એટલે આપણે ગમે તેટલી એક્સરસાઇઝ કરીએ પણ પછી પેલા જેવું તો ન થાય એટલે 50-60.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam Prabhuji.
Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you very much, Divya Gaurangi Mataji, for your wonderful class. And yeah, we look forward to hearing more from you. And our chat group has to grow. I'm hoping one day every one of our chat members will start their own chat group and we'll have 50 chat groups preaching Bhagavad Gita. That's my desire.
Hari bol.
Hari, Hari, Hari.
Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all of yours wonderful service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Patitanam
Yo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It was
Thank you,
lovely,
Mataji.
really lovely to hear from you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Thank you, devotees.
Very much. Hari bol.
Hari bol. Hari Hari bol. Thank
Hari
you.
Hari.
Hari Hari Prabhuji. Thank you.